Today's instructional video is on how to remove and reinstall a power motor for motion furniture. There are 4 screws that hold on to the drive puck, and then there are 2 screws in the back and 2 screws in the front. Those will all need to be removed. I am going to start with the 4 screws that are on the drive puck. Now that I have those 4 screws removed, I'm going to lower the brackets for the mechanism down and keep them in their same orientation. As you can see, the ottoman wants to come open at this point, that's fine, really doesn't create any kind of a issue. Then we'll remove the other 4 screws in the front. 2 in the front, 2 in the rear. And now the motor is hanging loosely. Now we will want to address the wire that comes out of the motor here. It comes over here to this wire tie, so I'm going to cut that very carefully, making sure I don't get into any of the wires. And there are wires that come through for the power headrest and the power lumbar, and then it looks like there are 2 that come over this direction. There is a screw in this location down in here, which I'm sure you can't see on the camera, but I'll pull it out here. That is holding the wires in position so that they don't get pinched. Pulling that screw out, here's the retainer that was holding it in place. Now we'll follow these 2 wires that are plugged in that are going to the switch area. There's 1, and a second one is pushed into the access hole here. So I will feed that out through the hole. That's this one. And you shouldn't have to worry too much about which connection goes where, because they are different pin setups in both of these. So now those 2 wires are loose. Now I have the wires that are here for the power headrest and the power lumbar. There's another one of these plastic retainers here, so I will remove the screw that's holding that in place. You can see it there. So if I screw aside, and then I will feed the wire harness through. And now the motor is completely removed from the piece of furniture. Then in reverse, to reinstall it, I'm going to bring the power headrest and power lumbar wires through the hole, take the screw and reinstall the clip that holds that in place. That is reinstalled. I will plug the wires back in. Being careful to make sure that all the wires are in this location. You don't want to run them over the bottom of the rail to where they could get pinched. That one's reconnected. This one is reconnected. I'll go ahead and feed those back into the access hole here. Those tucked out of the way. And I'm going to reinstall the motor bolts first. And for doing this, you want to have the ottoman closed. We'll bring that back up to the closed position. I will hold the ottoman closed with my knees here. Start these by hand. You just want to get these into position so that it's holding the motor in place. Then I've got these side brackets that I had released earlier. I will get those aligned here with the location they are supposed to go. Right there. Start those by hand. And I will tighten them with the wrench. Drop the clip down in there, so I had to retrieve that. That is for securing it at the rear with the wire harnesses. Back to the screwdriver bit. And then it was, this wire was the one that was held inside of the fastener here. And that is going to the power port, which is right here, which is very simple to replace as well. There are 2 screws right here that hold the power port in there. I'll demonstrate that for you in just a moment of unplugging that, and then same thing, the wire is fed inside the access hole here, keeping it out of the way so it doesn't get pinched. Okay, that is reinstalled. Then I'm going to take the wires and bundle them so that we can keep those out of the way and managed well. As far as the wires here, leave a little slack so that there's not any undue stress on the wires causing an issue at some point. And there's my wire bundle, and trim that off. Now the motor is reinstalled, so that shows you how to take one out and to put it back in. And then as I mentioned, there's 2 screws right here that hold the power port in, where you plug in the DC adapter. And that's all that really holds that in place. It comes through the hole in the frame, and then the wire connector is inside the arm here. I'm not gonna pull all that out right now. So that is a video to show you how to replace a motor. Thank you.